And now I was finally able to grab the pair and throw it into the generator, which sounds like a bad idea, but it did work, which didn't kill me. Holy moly, this is the best game ever. Then I found this area, which looks like a legitimate nightmare. Yeah, like what the heck is happening here? Well, I have to rush this out to make sure that it comes out on time. Anyways, in this video, I played 3 random games that are quite bizarre. Will I be able to handle the many oddities in these games? Or will I fail due to the weirdness? Well, let's find out by jumping into Lost in Pandation. It should have been called Lost in Pandemonium. You are an iPanda, a next-generation assistant trapped in an apartment after some sort of apocalypse. Survive the frost and find a way to escape. So we're a robot panda that has to survive in this apartment after some sort of apocalypse. That's pretty weird. I also accidentally turned off the music. Anyways, I planted some bamboo in these spots, then I fueled the fire. I failed to climb this bamboo. I was actually imitating a real panda, so that's why I sucked. After a century, I was finally able to grab this bamboo on this platform, which I planted over here to climb up to grab this piece of wood. I also found a main generator, which is something to take note of. After that, I put the wood on the fire, then grabbed some bamboo. I replanted them and completely forgot to grab the fruit, so I had to wait for a bit for the bamboo to regrow to grab the oily fruit. Also, the reason why I have to rush this video out is because I scrapped the original video that was meant to be posted on this day. Anyways, once the bamboo was grown, I replanted one, then grabbed the other bundle, which I took down here to make a ladder. I then grabbed this oily pear, then I climbed back to heat myself up. Also, why does this robot panda get so cold so quickly? Anyways, I planted down the pear, then refueled the fire. The next goal needed me to go and get a third pot. So I climbed up to the main generator with some bamboo with me to fuel it up. But it said that the pears might be a better fuel source. So I went down to warm myself up. As a massive snowstorm appeared, which degraded this ladder. Anyways, I grabbed some pears and replanted one of them, then I took the other one to the main generator. I had to wait for the snowstorm to clear so that I could do that, and I also had to bring some bamboo with me to repair the now destroyed ladder. I then refueled the fire, and now I was finally able to grab the pear and throw it into the generator, which sounds like a bad idea, but it did work. Unfortunately, a snowstorm started again, which was very annoying. While waiting out the storm, this thing appeared. And once the snowstorm cleared, I decided to get close to it. And I got destroyed, but at least it got rid of the monster. The footage lagged out as I unlocked the third pot, where I planted some bamboo. And then a snowstorm appeared, so I think it's time to move on to the next game. But before I move on, if you're enjoying this video so far, then leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Anyways, let's go on to the next game. Next game is Dust Child. Anyways, let's begin. So we're in this hole and I decided to go deeper, which design warned me may lead to my death. The next room had spikes, which didn't kill me. Holy moly, this is the best game ever. I also found a skeleton before I jumped to this place. Where I went down to grab this orb. I can't believe that the spikes aren't lethal. Anyways, I went back up here to put the orb in the weight, which opened the door where I fell down this hole and got to the next checkpoint. I went over here which had a locked door, so I had to go to this area where I climbed up after some difficult parkour. The jumping in this game is weirdly floaty. It's like I'm on the moon. Anyways, I found these weird statues holding bowls. I then went up here, where the sign told me to jump, and I discovered this secret area. But I didn't know what to do in this area, so I left. After that, I ran over here, where I found some flowing water, and another checkpoint. This path was blocked by fire, so I fell down here, and found this orb locked behind the door. I got this checkpoint, and grabbed this broken bucket, which I then filled up with some water. After that, I placed down the water bucket over here to open this door. I climbed up to grab the orb, which protected me from these statues. I also used it to open this door. Then I went up here. Then I fell into a pit of spikes. The spikes are only lethal if I fell on them. Good to know after I got impaled. I was able to jump across the pit of spikes. Then I found this gem, which I used to open this door. I went back to it with a broken bucket that was filled with water. I then remembered that the secret chamber had a gem-shaped hole, so I went back to it to place it down. This opened the water pipe and gave one of the statues some water, and after giving that statue some water, it's time to go on to the last game. Last game is Moss Moss. Anyways, let's begin. So unlike the other games, I don't know what I'm doing in this game. I just filled up the starter area with some moss. Also, quick fun fact, I did play the other two games previously for a free random game video, but after one of the games didn't record properly, I decided to get rid of all the footage, which included the footage from the two previous games, hence why I knew what I was doing in both of them. After I filled up the dirt blocks, the game said wall moss, then gave me a leaf, which I placed up there. Then a beanstalk grew from the void, so I climbed up to jump on the leaf, but realized that I needed more leaves to climb up further. So I fell into the void and found more land, which needed to be mossed up. So I proceeded to moss up the entire area, and I was finally able to get another leaf, before I went to the other area, where I found even more moss-depleted land, which I had to keep mossing up. I also fell into a pit of spikes, but I did manage to get over here, and I kept mossing up the area. Why do I keep falling into the pit of spikes? Anyways, after I mossed up the terrain, I went up here to grab the leaf. Then I found this area, which looks like a legitimate nightmare. Yeah, like what the heck is happening here? I climbed up to this area, and I found this place, which had blue moss, which makes bubbles. This is the best game ever. The bubbles allowed me to jump to this area, and allowed me to fully moss up this place. Then I grabbed the leaf. I then found this weird cat thing, which I grabbed. I then completely mossed up this area, but I couldn't grab the leaf because I didn't know how to get up there. After that, I found this place which had mini suns, and I still don't know what they did, even as I'm writing the script. I did get pretty far with mossing up this area, but I didn't know how to get up there, so that's where I had to end the video. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to watch more of my content, then click any of the videos on screen. Anyways, adios.